Now on verse 44, therefore hath Yahusha given unto us these commandments, that we might live together in peace and harmony, one with another, enjoying the wonderful blessings that the Father hath provided for us as his children in his eternal worlds. And if we do not learn these commandments, and we are not able to abide by them forever, then we will not be able to dwell in his kingdom. For he alloweth none who do not obey his commandments to enter therein. And he hath commanded us, saying, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye met, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in the eye of thy brother, but considereth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote from your eye, and behold, a beam is in your own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of your own eye, then you shall see clearly to cast the mote out of your brother's eye. Now, this does not mean that Yahusha does not want us to discern between good and evil and choose the good over the evil and cling to it. But who among us has the right to determine what is good and what is evil? For unto some, what is evil might be good unto others, and to others, what is evil might be good unto some. Therefore, if we must judge the actions of others, we must make a righteous judgment. But I say unto you, my dear children, that it is better that ye do not judge at all, but leave all judgment to our Father, who hath created us all, and hath given us all our free agency to choose for ourselves that which is good and that which is evil. And he loveth all of his children. He loveth all of his children, whether their actions be good or whether they be evil. He loveth them the same. Now, I don't know if I really agree with that, but let's continue. For what think ye, that ye are better fathers than our Father in heaven? Let's ponder this for a minute. I mean, I'm not a father. You know, I ain't never had no kids, put it that way. I ain't a parent, you know, so I don't know, but I know, you know, I love my kitty. Now, that's all I can compare it to, you know, because I don't have any kids. I don't have any children. So those of you that are parents, maybe you can ask yourself if you love your children the same. If one was evil or one was good, wouldn't you love them both the same? So it says, For what think you, that you are better fathers than our Father in heaven? For if one of your children doeth evil in your judgment, do ye love him any less than those of your children that which ye judge to be good? Do you love him any less than those children of yours that you judge to be good? And if ye, being evil fathers, desire good for your children, then how much more would our Father who is righteous desire good for all of his children? That's a good point. The Father desires all to come to salvation and repentance. So if he didn't love us all, then he wouldn't have the desire for us all to repent and come into salvation. If he desires for us to repent and be saved, then that shows me that he loves us, even when we're in our sinful state, because that it declares that he desires for all to come to repentance. Okay, so that's lining up to me. And it is a hard thing that ye should determine what is good and what is evil on your own accord. For ye know not the circumstance in which the action of another hath taken place. And therefore ye have no way to judge righteously whether or not this action was good or evil. And therefore ye have no way to judge righteously whether or not this action is good or evil. For in one circumstance the action could be good, but in another circumstance it could be evil. And if ye judge an action of another to be evil, and it is actually good, then the condemnation rests upon your shoulders for the judgment ye have rendered. And if ye judge an action of another to be good, and it is actually evil, then this condemnation also rests upon your shoulders. For if ye judge the action of another, and ye have determined in yourselves that this action is evil, then ye shall show prejudice and bias against this action, which prejudice and bias cause you to have anger against this person. See, this breaks it all the way down. And with this anger ye have sealed yourselves up to the prison, or the state of misery, in the spirit world of which I have spoken. And if ye find out after death that the action that ye have judged was not an evil action, but a righteous action, then ye will not have the power to reconcile with him whom ye have misjudged in the flesh, because ye are in the spirit, and a recompense for prejudice and bias and anger cannot be given in the spirit world. And ye shall not come out of this prison. Or in other words, ye shall remain in this state of misery until the consequences of your judgment has ended in the flesh. Until the consequences of your judgment has ended in the flesh. And now, my children, I shall give unto you an example of that which I have spoken, so that ye shall not be confused in this thing. For I have seen this among you, even this judgment which ye have made of something that is good as being evil. And because of this thing that I have seen, and the judgment ye have made, the judgments ye have made, there is much contention among you, and there will be many of you who shall suffer because of these things in the spirit prison, as I have explained it unto you. Behold, there are those among you who have condemned others in that which they eat and drink. I haven't condemned nobody, but I bring forth a lot of information against it, but I try not to look down. Like, I haven't condemned anybody for what they eat or what they drink, but I do tell them the truth. I still love my Aki, my family, and everybody that I know around me that eats flesh and blood. I haven't condemned them. I still love them. I show them the same love that I show to my vegan brothers and sisters. Okay? So, behold, there are those among you who have condemned others in that which they eat and drink. Yeah, there are those of you who have cursed your neighbors because they eat the flesh of beasts and cook their food. See, I cook my food, so already this is talking about, this is the same context that it puts eating the flesh of beasts and cooking their food. Well, I'm guilty of cooking my food. So really, I have no room to judge anyone. I mean, yeah, the animals are suffering. They're going through misery, and that does bother me. It does get to me when I think about that. But I know I have no control, no power over it, And I also know the eternal laws of the Most High, which we're going to get into it. That, like when you eat death, you're going to die, So, all kinds of health issues. People are dying on a daily basis from all these health issues, and it all stems back to what you put in your mouth. So we have no reason to get mad at our brothers that's eating the flesh and blood. I think it is a little bit different though when they're teaching that it is okay, because that right there, they're bringing condemnation upon their own head. And they're leading a lot of people astray. They're leading a lot of people to damnation, to eternal damnation of their souls, not meaning a burning lake of fire, but still yet a state of misery in this state and probably after that state, because there's recompense to blood being on your hands. If you're a partaker of the table of Satan, then you got blood on your hands, because it's at your hands. You're wanting to feast upon their flesh and blood. I'm not condemning anybody by saying this. This is the absolute truth. Okay? So if you're feasting upon their dead flesh and blood, they have to be murdered. They have to be killed in order to wind up on your plate. Okay? So there are people that's being paid to slaughter these animals by the billions in brutal manners, okay, so that you can feast upon their dead flesh. So you think that there ain't no judgment that's going to come of that? Not only is it destroying your body, your actual temple, your temple of the Most High is your body. Not only are you destroying that by consuming death, but you also got blood on your hands. So there's recompense to pay for that too. And I can't tell you exactly what that is, but that's something that you're going to have to work out with the Father. Talk to the Father. If you have the desire to, treat your neighbor as you want to be treated, well, that is extended to the animals. They are not very much unlike us. Like, we all have the breath of the Most High flowing through our bodies, okay? Their body is a temple of the Most High too. He dwells in them as well. They have a spirit. They have emotion. They are sentient beings, okay? We are sentient beings upon the face of the earth. Oh my gosh, why do I don't have to keep breaking this down, people. We have been deceived, all right? We've been deceived to think that we are higher than them. So now we can, is a dog-eat-dog world, so now it's the survival of the fittest, and it is a circle of life, and all of these wicked concepts of the Gentiles that have literally brainwashed pretty much everybody on the earth, except for, those in remote countries and whatnot. You got your Brahmins and your Buddhist monks and all of them, that they know better. They know they don't not to consume no flesh and blood. And they're on a whole nother spiritual plane. They're on a whole nother spiritual level than the true priests of the earth. Okay, the true light of the earth. All right. They're being they're being a brighter light than the true light that we're supposed to be upon the earth. Okay? Well, they're showing forth the light of the Most High, because his laws was given to them, and they live it. They're not feasting upon the dead flesh and blood of the Father's innocent creation. They respect all life. Well, that's walking hand in hand with the Creator. Okay, so we got to stop being so scared, talking about, oh, that's New Age, oh, that's Buddhism, oh, that's this, that's that. Look, let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Do they obey what the Father said in the beginning? Yes or no? And yes, they are obeying the Genesis 129 law, 130 law. They are respecting the creation. Okay? Now, I'm not saying everything that they do, because I haven't studied them. I haven't studied them like that, so I don't know what all they believe and what all they practice, but I do know that they respect creation. They respect all life. All right, so let's get back to it. Behold, there are those among you who have condemned others in that which they eat and drink. Yeah, there are those of you who have cursed your neighbors because they eat the flesh of beasts and cook their food, which the eating of flesh and cooking are contrary to the strict laws of health that Yahusha has given unto us. And ye believe that because they eat this flesh and cook their food, that they shall be condemned before the Most High and chastised by him. And in this thing ye have caused much anger and contention among yourselves. But in this thing ye have judged your neighbors incorrectly, and ye have become angry against them, and prejudiced in your minds and hearts against them that do these things. And your children see your examples and grow up with this prejudice already in their hearts. And this prejudice turneth them cold towards those who do the things that your children have been taught are evil. And because of this anger and this prejudice towards them, ye have caused those who do these things that ye perceive to be evil to have anger and prejudice toward you. And they also teach their children this prejudice, which divideth us further into families and factions that have anger one toward another. And in this anger ye are disobeying the commandments of the Most High, and not in that which ye eat. For the laws of health associated with that which we should eat, and that which we should abstain from eating, pertain only to this world and our mortal flesh. And those who use their free agency to disobey the laws of health receive the recompense for their disobedience in this world. And this recompense is the poor health and diminished strength and a disease and pestilence that causes them to suffer during the days of their probation. But once they are dead and have cast off the flesh, that is the end of their punishment, and they will receive no further punishment for that which they have chosen to eat and drink. Now, I don't agree that there won't be no further punishment of feasting upon the dead flesh of slain, mutilated, abused, tortured animals, okay? Because these animals lost their life so that you could feast upon them, okay? And me too, I had to repent because I did it in ignorance. So those of you that are doing it in ignorance, this is not a condemnation against you. Telling the truth is not condemning, okay? Telling the truth is not a condemnation. So you are a partaker if you feast upon the dead flesh and blood of these poor innocent creatures. You are a partaker of their suffering, okay? Now, but those of you that have become angry with them and have hardened your hearts against them because of your prejudice and your bias against the things that ye have judged to be evil, will suffer the recompense of your anger, not only in this life, but in the prison of the next, as I have explained it unto you. And when as a spirit ye observe that your children and their children, even unto many generations, do carry on the hate and the prejudice that ye have caused because of your misjudgment, then ye shall suffer in this state of misery until the end of the cause of this hate and prejudice that ye have taught unto your children. Therefore, my beloved children, love one another and do good to one another. And I would that ye should know that it does not matter to the Father what goeth in the mouth of another according to his free will and choice. And I happen to differ with that again, because again, when you are a partaker of the death and suffering of an innocent creature, there is blood on your hands, okay? So it's not just, it's not like, it shouldn't be compared with cooking your food. I seriously disagree with that, because I can cook. If I cook plants, plants was created to nourish me. If I happen to cook jackfruit, that grew from the earth. Okay, it grew from the earth, and though I'm killing the nutrients by cooking it, it is not suffering. I am the one that suffers alone. I will be destroying my own body, and it will be just everything kind of with me, okay? But it wouldn't have anything to do with an innocent creature that was created to live its life upon this earth, okay? These innocent creatures that were given the breath of life to live their life upon the earth did not want to die. They did not want to be tortured and raped in these slaughterhouses by these perverse Gentiles that are killing them by the droves, so that you can feast upon their dead flesh and blood. Okay? So I disagree. I disagree with this that Yahusha don't care about the things that go into our mouth when we're feasting upon the dead flesh and blood of his innocent creation, of his innocent creature that was tortured and brutally murdered. Okay? He's the one that had to hear their screams and their cries. Okay? So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I would that ye should remember the things that I have spoken unto you regarding the kingdom of the Most High, and the different glories that pertain thereto. And you know what? This is probably why they're saying that. Because there is sacrifice up in here. Like I told you, I am on chapter 21. I have read things within the sealed portion that I completely disagree with. Okay? I don't agree. Like I've said many times, I don't take this as complete 100% gospel. Okay? I feel like there's lies intertwined into pretty much everything. That's why we have the spirit of discernment, so that we can have discernment to judge what's of the Most High and what's not of the Most High. And to me, I know for a fact that he ain't give us sacrificing the animals. He didn't never tell us to sacrifice his innocent animals, okay? And in here it goes into that. But at the same time, it talks about, I think that's in the book of actually not in here, but in the book of Mormon and Nephi. And I think there was a couple of things in here that I ran across that I completely disagree with, like this. Yeah, it doesn't fit right with my spirit that Yahusha saying it doesn't matter what goes into your mouth. No, I think it does matter. I think it does matter. I don't think that he holds any hatred towards those that are doing it in ignorance. But see, like I don't understand how. Because I still have those preconceived ideologies that the Father hates evil, like, and that we're supposed to hate evil. Like, so I struggle with that. I struggle, like, what about sick people that's raping little babies? Like, what about sick people that rapes like a 4-year-old girl, or a 4-year-old boy? Like, what about these sick people, these sick perverted people that do these heinous crimes to little boys and little girls, like satanic ritual abuse? And there has to be a point to where, like, how would the Father love this person the same as somebody that's righteous, bro? Like, I don't see that. I can't compute that. That does not compute how the Father can love someone that was satanically tortured and murdered an innocent life the same as he would love someone that strives to be righteous before him. So, I don't know, man. I disagree with some of this. I don't wholeheartedly agree with it all, even though I can glean from what this is saying. And there is a lot of wisdom that I can take from it and apply it to my life. But as far as me thinking that the Father loves a freaking Satanist that will ritually abuse a child and rape a child, to get their adrenochrome and all these wicked things, that he loves them the same as he loves somebody that seeks after him wholeheartedly? Man, I have a hard time. I'm just going to admit that I have a hard time believing that. Okay? I have a hard time believing that. And I would that ye should remember the things that I have spoken unto you regarding the kingdom of the Most High, and the different glories that pertain thereto, which are the glories of happiness that all the children of the Most High shall inherit, according to the individual desires of happiness of each. Now, I read that, but I didn't read it to you guys. Remember that I have explained unto you that each of us determined before we were born into mortality which of these glories of happiness best suited our own desires of happiness. And this time of probation was the time that we would prove to ourselves that the choice that we have made for ourselves is indeed that which we desire. And since each of our desires of happiness are different, then those things that we believe are good for us might be things that are evil unto another. And likewise, those things that might be evil for us might bring happiness to another. And for this reason, it would be hard to make a righteous judgment. But the commandments of Yahusha that I am giving unto you at this time must be obeyed by all, for they are truly commandments that will bring us the happiness that we all desire. And if another chooses an action for himself that is not contrary to the commandments of the Most High, even the commandments of his gospel, which are the commandments that I am giving unto you at this time, then that person is justified in this action if it bringeth him joy. And we do not do anything except that we might have joy therein. And the things that we do that do not bring us joy, then we may know for a surety that they are evil to us. And those things that bring us joy are surely good and righteous to us. But remember again, my beloved children, that what bringeth joy to one person does not mean that the same joy will be experienced by another. Therefore, I would that ye judge not at all, but let our Messiah be the judge of all. And this is what I have caused to be taught among you, even in the churches that Yahusha has suffered us to establish among us for our sake, even that all of us shall be brought before the judgment bar of the Most High, and be judged according to the commandments that he has given unto us. And for this reason I give unto all of you these commandments. And if a commandment is not given by me at this time, then that commandment was not given unto me and your mother Eve by Yahusha. And therefore this commandment cannot be a commandment of the Most High, but is a commandment of men. And if it is a commandment of men, then ye will not be held accountable for it at the judgment bar of the Most High. And now I would that ye should be aware of the commandments of men. For these commandments of men shall usually lead you away from the commandments of the Most High. Therefore I speak plainly unto you of those commandments that ye have received from the mouth of the Most High power. And Yahusha commanded us, saying, Thou shalt not commit adultery. And whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery already in his heart. Behold, I give unto you a commandment, that ye suffer none of these things to enter into your heart. Verily, verily, I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whoso shall marry her, who is divorced, committeth adultery. And now I would that ye should know that in the Garden of Eden, Yahusha commanded me to cleave unto Eve, and become one with her. And I was commanded to care for her, and stay at her side all the days of my life. And because she was to be engaged in the bringing forth of children, I was commanded that I should make sure she was provided with those things that she desired to make her happy and to sustain her life and the lives of our children. And ye are all our children, and ye also know that I have spent all the days of my life in labor to sustain your lives, and give unto you those things that make you happy. But in all these things I have depended upon Eve as my companion, and it is she whom I have been commanded to love and honor. And she has loved me and honored me all the days of my life, which has brought me much joy, and hath fulfilled my desires of happiness concerning her. But even though I was commanded to love and honor her by the Father, I did not need to be commanded in this thing, for I truly do love her, and it is I that am indebted to the Father because of her. And I have cause to be taught among you that it is not the right of a man to ask a woman to be his wife. Let's read that again. And I have cause to be taught among you that it is not the right of a man to ask that a woman be his wife. In the beginning, he was given commandments by Yahusha. Because Yahusha was who Adam was communing with in the garden. Yahusha is who created the earth, okay? And all living things that are upon it. It was Yahusha that was creating it at the word of the Most High Power, okay? The word of the Almighty Spirit, the Almighty power of life and love and all things good, okay? So Yahusha has been given the keys to the kingdom, so I refer to him, as the Messiah. He has been looked at as a God, to worship and whatnot. But I don't believe that it takes away from the almighty power. When Yahusha was upon the earth, he always gave all praise, honor, and glory to the ultimate almighty power. He always gave praise and honor and glory to the creator of all life, okay? And I feel like Yahusha is the word, and he's the one that actually physically, created the earth. He's the one that physically spoke with Adam and Eve in the garden. He's the one that spoke through the burning bush to Moses, okay? Like he was the one that spoke, on Mount Horeb, and the Israelites were afraid, okay? He's the one that we've been dealing with this whole time, okay? And came to the earth. His spirit came to the earth. He was born upon this earth. He came to show us and give us the true laws of the eternal power, okay? When he died, he sent us the spirit. All right, so I got other videos going into that. I don't like going off on these tangents, but it's what I do sometimes. So let's see. Okay, so yeah. Okay, and I have cause to be taught among you that it is not the right of a man to ask that a woman be his wife. For it is the responsibility of a man to live his life honorably, and cause that a woman should desire him. And if the woman hath desired him as her husband, then it is because she believeth that he will fulfill the desires of her happiness. And this is the law of the heavens, which I have caused to be taught unto you in mortality, because of the physical strength that a mortal man hath over a woman. For if a man was left to the carnal desires of his heart, then he will force himself upon a woman, and cause her to accept him by his brute strength over her. But this thing is most abominable before the Most High, and any man that doeth this thing shall be condemned by the Most High. So there we go. He does not love someone that will torture and abuse and rape a woman or child or an animal, all right? shall be condemned before the Most High, is most abominable before him. And again, any man that would do this thing shall not be given the eternal body of a man in the kingdoms of glory that permit this type of body. That would be the celestial kingdom. All right, I hinted on it before. I did hint on it before. I believe that was my video, a little bit about my life. I did hint on it before, and I didn't stay on that topic because people are iffy, man. Already people want to sit here and try to discredit the sealed portion despite much wisdom that can be gleaned from it. So anyway, I know that in a celestial kingdom, that's the only glory where you have a body, a male and or a female body. Now, whether or not you get to pick and choose what body you go into, I don't know. I ain't got that far yet. 79. And again, any man that will do this thing shall not be given the eternal body of a man in the kingdoms of glory that permit this type of body. And only those spirits that are worthy of this body and desire it to serve others shall receive this power in the kingdom of the Most High. This is the celestial kingdom. And those spirits who desire to be women in this same glory shall choose for themselves the man that they would have as a husband. So there it is right there. You choose what body you will have. Because it says, let me reread it again. And those spirits who desire to be women, those spirits who desire to be women, comma, in this same glory, shall choose for themselves the man that they would have as a husband. And they shall do this according to their knowledge of this man and his righteousness. And I am saddened that there are many of you, my sons, among us, who have corrupted the law of marriage, as I have caused it to be taught unto you. For ye deceive the women, and pretend to be righteous, and pretend that ye are willing to fulfill her desire of happiness, so that the woman will choose you, and desire to make you her husband. And ye lust after her in a dowry that is given, and not that ye should serve her and provide for her happiness. And because it is by the free will and choice of a woman to make a man her husband, she is bound by the covenant that she shall make unto him. And through this covenant, she hath obligated herself to this man all the days of her life. And for this reason, a man hath no right to put away his wife, if it so be that he accepteth her desire to make him her husband. And a man shall not be compelled in this world or in the next, in the glory that permitteth eternal unions, to accept the desire of a woman. Nevertheless, in the glory of the kingdom of the Most High, where these unions are permitted, there will be only righteous men, and a righteous man shall never deny a desirous woman from being his eternal companion. And they shall only desire this union to serve others, for in this their blessing and their joy are complete. Now, I know I didn't read the part to you guys about the different glories in the kingdom, okay? This particular kingdom is called the celestial glory, and this is the only one where you have a male and female body, and where you create spirit children. Now, I know this is deep. Is hella deep, okay? So I don't be meaning to get off into the deep stuff, but they're including deep stuff, so I feel like I need to expound a little bit on it. I guess they are assuming that you read, all the way up to this point. because they're not even referencing, but I remember reading about the different glories in the kingdom, and this is talking about the celestial kingdom, where there is unions, where you create spirit children. There's spirit mothers and spirit fathers, okay, in the celestial kingdom. And so the spirit mothers nourish the spirit children, and they're the ones that teach the spirit children, and the spirit fathers creates the worlds to where their spirit children will live out their days of their probation so that they can experience true happiness. Because if you never experience the opposite of something, you would never know the true happiness and the true joy that come from it. You know what I mean? So like if you taste something really good, like a really good fruit, you don't have any idea how sweet it is. Even though it's sweet, it's very, very sweet and it's delicious, but if that's all you know, you can't really appreciate it to the point to where you have joy from it and happiness from it, because it just always was. You know what I mean? So, like, take someone that's been born into wealth. Okay, if you always had it and you ain't never had to struggle for anything, you don't really know the joy it is to have been born that way unless you lived your life poor, and then all of a sudden you come into some wealth. Then you can experience the supreme joy that comes from that, because you know the opposite of it. That's the best way that I can break it down, and this breaks it down much better in previous chapters that I haven't brung forth. All right. Verse 83, and ye shall not engage in any sexual relations of any kind, even those actions that lead up to the desire of these relations, unless ye have been chosen by a woman to be her husband. And the woman shall remain pure and untouched by other men until the day that she maketh a decision regarding her choice of a husband. For every woman shall one day be the wife of a husband, if she so desires and chooses. Okay, so that's another doctrine that's out there that teaches that every single woman born upon the face of the earth needs to be married, and every single woman upon the face of the earth needs a head, needs a covering. So according to this, the woman was chosen to basically pick and choose who she wants to be her husband. All right, so for every woman shall one day be the wife of a husband, if she so chooses. And if it so be that a woman committeth fornication or anything like unto it, she shall commit adultery against her future husband. So the days we are living in today, with the immorality, the promiscuousness, beyond promiscuousness being promoted everywhere, in the music, in TV, in movies, everywhere. Okay? Like fornication is rampant in the earth today. You know, she is committing adultery against her future husband. And any man that committeth fornication or anything like unto it with another woman hath committed adultery with the future wife of another man, who the woman hath not yet chosen for herself. And if a woman hath committed fornication or anything like unto it, and maketh a lie to the man that she is desirous to take unto herself as a husband, and presenteth herself as clean and pure before him, then she can be put away or divorced from him to whom she made the lie. All right, let me read that again. And if a woman hath committed fornication or anything like unto it, and maketh a lie to the man that she is desirous to take unto herself as a husband, and presenteth herself as clean and pure before him, then she can be put away. Then she can be put away or divorced from him to whom she made the lie. But if that man be a righteous man, and he shall forgive his wife for the things which she hath done before she made the covenant with him, and her sins will be remembered no more before Yahusha, and it will be counted unto the man as righteousness. But if he does not desire to have her as a wife, he shall be justified before Yahusha in a divorcement, and likewise also shall it be for the woman who hath been lied to by a man. All right? And there shall be no other reason that a divorcement shall be given. For this reason the daughters of the Most High must be cautious, and prove those whom they would have as their husbands. Yeah, they must assure themselves that the man whom they choose as their husband is worthy before the Most High. And ye shall test them, and see if they live by the commandments of the Most High, and not by the commandments of men. And if they live by the commandments of the Most High, then ye shall receive from them the happiness that ye desire. But if they live by the commandments of men, then ye shall experience misery and strife in a union with them. Now this is good wisdom right here. And there is a sure test, my beloved daughters, that will help you, that ye shall know whether a man followeth the commandments of the Most High, or the commandments of men. For behold, it is the natural desire of all men to engage in fornication, and anything like unto it, whenever they are allowed to do so by a woman. Therefore, if a man attempteth fornication with you, or anything like unto it, then ye shall know that he disregardeth the commandments of the Most High, and hath followed the instincts of his own carnal desires. And if it so be that ye still desire this man, then ye shall experience the strife of which I have spoken, and in the eternal worlds your union shall not exist. And it shall be that there are very few men who are righteous and are willing to obey the commandments of the Most High in all things. And ye shall realize that if it so be that you depend on the righteousness of men to give you children, then ye will be barren and childless all the days of your life. And if ye are a righteous woman, and are desireth to have children, then ye shall be justified in creating these children with an unrighteous man, if it so be that he is chosen by you, because ye cannot find a righteous man among you. And if your desires are righteous, then shall Yahusha ease the burden of this strife between you and your unrighteous husband, and shall bring you great joy in your posterity. And if ye remain faithful all the days of your life, even that ye keep all the commandments of Yahusha, then shall ye be blessed with the choice of a righteous husband in the kingdom of the Most High, if that so be your desire. But if your husband is unrighteous, and obeyeth not the commandments of Yahusha in all things, then ye are justified in a divorcement from him. But in all these things ye shall judge only according to the commandments of the Most High, and not according to the commandments of men. Beware that ye are not deceived by men who put themselves up above you, and give you commandments that are not of the Most High power. Let no man deceive you, and say unto you that Yahusha has commanded him to take another wife unto himself. For Yahusha will never command such a thing. For as it has been explained unto you, it is the choice of a woman to choose a husband. And if a woman cometh unto you and desireth to take your husband also as her own husband, then ye shall have the decision to take her unto yourself as a sister wife to your husband. But if ye do this thing to your sister, then ye must know that she shall be equal to you in the eyes of your husband. And there shall be no man that shall be given the power and authority to give a woman to another man, neither shall the power be given to any to choose a husband for any woman. But unto some who are righteous men of the Most High, Yahusha suffereth to be given the authority to counsel with the women who find themselves without husbands because of the wickedness of men. And it will be given unto this righteous man to seal this covenant before the Most High. And if any woman taketh a sister wife unto herself for her husband, then it will be counted unto her as righteousness before the Most High. But if she does not allow another woman to take her righteous husband as her own, then it should not be counted unto her as unrighteous before the Most High. For Yahusha delighteth in the chastity and honor of women. Behold, I have been loyal and faithful to Eve all the days of my life. In honor I sustain her and cherish each moment I am blessed with her presence. I have no lascivious thoughts, and no lustful desires have entered into my heart all the days of my life, and I am one with her. And because of these things, we enjoy a fullness of happiness in the union within which we have been blessed. And now I say unto you, if ye shall love your spouses as we have loved one another, then ye shall have this joy, which joy causes the happiness that we share. And because of this happiness, Yahusha has established this union of a man and a woman, and have given unto us the commandments pertaining to this union that shall be maintained in righteousness. And because of righteousness, this union shall exist in the kingdom of the Father forever. That's the end of chapter 19. Next time we'll pick up in chapter 20 because it continues. Let me go ahead and read the synopsis to you. Adam continues to explain the gospel and the commandments of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Messiah. He explains the evil of money and worldly possessions and gives the commandments pertaining to them. He expounds on and explains the evils of the family unit. Shalom.